我们可以请 Kolb 医生开始。Dr.Kolb, we can start now.
Okay. 你好, this is Dr. Bradford Kolb of HRC Fertility in Pasadena, California.
医生说大家好，非常感谢大家过来参加。Kolb 医生是 HRC 辅助生殖医生，在 Pasadena 在这个地方的一个主治医生。
I want to thank each of you for joining us here today. I hope to educate you on some of the aspects of reproductive medicine.
医生感谢大家过来参加，我们现在就是希望可以告诉大家要怎么样增强这个辅助生殖。
And I especially want to thank Hama for organizing this meeting for us.
医生非常感谢河马可以帮我们主持这个会议。
I want to show you first a little bit about my nursing team and a little bit of HRC.
一开始医生想要跟大家介绍我们整个诊所还有我们的一个护理团队。
This is my personal team of nurses and assistants, and you'll see about half of my staff are Chinese and are fluent in Mandarin, some in Cantonese, and we work off of WeChat to communicate with our patients.
这个整个团队呢都是 Dr.Kolb 医生的团队，那大家都可以看到，我们整个团队大部分都是亚洲人。那我们的团队呢有讲普通话，有讲广东话，我们都会通过微信来帮大家服务。
So as far as HRC fertility, it was established in 1988. We're the largest fertility center in the Western United States.
我们这个 HRC Fertility 呢是在1988年创造的，是在 CLA 一个最大的一个辅助生殖中心。
And even though we're a large facility, we pride ourselves on personalized care. So I will be your doctor for every step of your treatment, and you will have one or at most two nurses that you will always be working with. So we always want to make it a very personal experience for you.
虽然我们是一间很大的一个生殖中心，但是我们对我们每一个病人呢都是非常的细心，并且1对1的照顾。我每一个病人过来做治疗，我都会和他们就是有长期的每一个疗程的解释，然后并且每一位病人都会有1到2个对接的护士。
The next few pictures are some of the waiting rooms in our office.
接下来的几张照片会给大家介绍一下我们 HRC 的一个内部情况。这些是我们的一个等待的地方，这是我们的 VIP room。
And then this is our recovery room for the surgery center. Everything is very private and very clean and state-of-the-art equipment.
这个是我们病人在做完手术的时候一个恢复期的一个房间。那大家可以看到我们这个房间就是非常非常的干净，然后每一个床位都有个帘子，大家都会有非常好的一个隐秘空间。
This is one of our surgery or operating rooms. We have 2 of them in the Pasadena facility. All the equipment is state-of-the-art, and we will always have an anesthesiologist there to make sure that our patients are comfortable and safe during their procedures.
这个是我们的手术室，然后我们这边就是你可以看到我们的设备是非常非常的先进的。那我们每一次在做手术的时候，麻醉师肯定都是在旁边，然后并且就是会很密切的关注大家的一个情况。
This is just a picture of the IVF laboratory. Every year we bring in new equipment. We always want to have the best and state-of-the-art equipment to work with the embryo.
这个是我们的一个实验室，试管实验室。每一年呢，我们都会确保我们的所有的实验室的设备去更新，确保我们的设备是在全世界最顶尖的设备。
We have a very highly trained staff of embryologists. We have 10 embryologists in the Pasadena facility.
我们有训练非常好的胚胎师，我们在 Pasadena 有10个胚胎师。
This is the facility where we store embryos and eggs and sperm. Everything is very secure.
这个就是给大家看的一个，就是我们的一个储存胚胎和卵子和精子的一个实验室。
I always like to show a couple family pictures during my talk. This is kind of an older picture of my family in safari in South Africa.
这个是医生每次都会稍微跟大家介绍一下医生的一个家庭，这是他们正在去南非游玩的时候一个全家福的一个照片。
This is my wife, Judy. She is from Nanjing in Shanghai.
这个是大家可以看从右边算过来，第2个是医生的太太叫 Judy， 然后她是从中国南京过来的。
This is my oldest daughter, Brittany. She's in medical school.
这是医生的大女儿叫 Brittany， 她现在也是在读医学院。
This is my middle daughter, Kelsey, and she's going to be studying veterinary or animal medicine.
这是医生的2女儿她现在是正在读兽医。
And then this is my youngest, Kaylee, and she's going to be going off to college this.
这个是医生的小女儿，现在要准备开始大学了。
Now, as far as before I actually start the talk, I do want to encourage all of you, if you're interested in moving forward or learning more, to schedule a consultation through HRC. It's free, and right now, HRC is providing significant treatment discounts for our patients moving forward.
在我们现在开始前，医生可以建议，如果你对这个试管的治疗是很有兴趣的话，大家可以跟我们河马预约一个1对1的一个问诊时间，然后现在也在 HRC 也是有一个折扣的。
We're taking extreme measures to make sure that all of our patient and our staff are protected during the current crisis.
我们现在呢都是非常的保护大家，我们现在就是在疫情期间都是要非常的注意。
Now, about 10 to 15% of every population in every country has fertility issues, so it's not an uncommon problem.
现在我们开始就是在讲不孕不育的问题，在全世界大概有10到20%的人口都会有一个不孕不育的症状，这是非常普遍的症状。
But we also treat many patients who don't have a fertility issue, couples that want to choose the gender of their child, individuals that want to use a surrogate, and we provide quite a few services for those in the LGBTQ community.
我们不仅呢会帮助这些不孕不育的客户做治疗，同时没有不孕不育的客户也会去帮助他们。比如说呢，有一些女性她们会需要到代理孕母，或者是有关于我们的同性伴侣团体，他们都会有这个需要。
So I want to start with how we evaluate the male patient.
首先，我们现在开始，我们要从男性要怎么样去做一个评估。
We always start with a semen analysis. There's lots of different things that we look at within the sperm that can give us clues as far as how to maximize your treatment success.
首先开始呢，我们必须要做一个精液分析报告。那这个精液分析报告可以，在我们做试管的前期是一个非常的有帮助的一个分析报告。
These include things like the concentration of the sperm, how much of the sperm is swimming, the shape of the sperm.
这里面的包括就是精液的浓度，还有包括就是精子的一个活动力。
And then as far as other things that we look at, we're very careful to make sure that you're having a healthy child. So we're going to also test to see if there's any risk of passing a genetic disease to your child.
那我们要生出一个健康的宝宝，还有一个很重要的元素必须要去检测，就是我们的基因。
Now, some of our patients are don't have sperm in the ejaculate. And so we're able to do a very simple procedure where we use a small needle and extract sperm directly from the testicle. If we end up doing this, we do it in such a way that there's no pain associated with it. And the procedure only takes about 5 minutes.
有一些男性呢，他们是属于无精症男性，那这种时候呢，我们就可以做一个睾丸取精的一个手术。那这个睾丸取精的手术呢，其实是非常非常短的手术，只需要5分钟就可以结束了。
And then this slide here, this is showing an egg that's just come out of the ovary, and all these little cells around it, cells that give nutrients to the egg.
这个就是卵子刚出来卵巢这个状况，中间这个部分呢就是卵子，旁边呢就是一个补给卵子这个营养的养分。
Before we fertilize the egg, we clean it up, and then we use a very small needle to put a single sperm into each egg. This allows us to pick the best and healthiest sperm to fertilize the eggs with.
在右上角这个图片呢，就是在我们受精之前要把这个卵子里面都清干净，然后从旁边的地方，第3个图片就是注入精子，然后来让精子跟卵子受精。
So I'm going to transition over to the evaluation of the female patient.
现在我们开始来讲要如何评估女性。
Now, we always want to make sure the uterus, where the embryo is going to go back, is normal. There's different ways for us to test this.
那首先我们是需要就是检测一下女性的子宫。
Typically, we're going to do a procedure where we put a little tiny camera into the uterus, and we do this at the time of the egg retrieval. And sometimes we find abnormalities like scar tissue or fibroid tumors that have to be removed before there's an embryo transfer.
我们在做取卵的时候呢，同时也会给子宫做一个整个子宫的一个评估。那有时我们会看看这个子宫里面是否有子宫肌瘤，或者是有其他的一些子宫息肉的一些的问题。如果有的话，我们会做手术，把这些子宫肌瘤和子宫的一个息肉拿掉，再做这个移植的动作。
By fixing these abnormalities before the embryo transfer, we're able to significantly improve the pregnancy rate, but also minimize the risk of a miscarriage.
在做移植胚胎手术之前呢，我们要做这些手术，可以提高这个移植的成功率。
The other thing that we need to check is the fallopian tubes. There's certain circumstances where the fallopian tubes can jeopardize the chance of an embryo transfer working out okay.
那再来，我们就是必须要检查输卵管，确认输卵管都没有问题之后，再做接下来的一个步骤。
So this here is a X-ray of a uterus and the fallopian tubes, and this is normal. But every once in a while, we'll find a fallopian tube that's full of fluid. This has to be fixed before we transfer the embryos because this fluid can be very harmful to the embryos.
OK， 左边的这个图案就是显示，这是一个 X-ray 在显示我们整个子宫和卵巢的状况都是一个正常的状况哦。然后在右边这个图案，大家可以看到左边的这个就是右边的图案和左边那个输卵管有偏大。那像这种情况呢，我们就不能做移植，我们必须要就是把这一个输卵管全部都治好了，才可以做移植的动作。
The next few slides are going to illustrate the hormone system in the body and the importance of that.
接下来医生会告诉大家荷尔蒙在身体里面是有多么的重要。
All the hormones in the body are controlled by this little tiny gland inside the brain. the brain releases hormones that go to organs such as the testicle or the ovary to stimulate reproductive function.
那荷尔蒙呢，是从我们的脑子里面分泌出来的。那这个就是荷尔蒙可以影响，就是睾丸，还有一个卵巢的一个情况。
Now, some of these hormones you're familiar with, things like FSH, AMH levels. These we can measure to tell us about the health of the eggs. And in men, we can measure to tell about the health of the sperm.
大家可能都很熟悉有的一些荷尔蒙的名称叫做 FSH 或者是 AMH， 叫做卵巢储备功能和雌激素等这一些的荷尔蒙。
Now, what's also important is these same hormones, such as you see here, are the same as the fertility medications that we give our patients. So when we give you fertility medicines, we're just duplicating the hormones that are naturally in the body.
当我们在做一个就是试管的治疗的时候，其中的一些治疗药物就是包括这些荷尔蒙药物。那这些荷尔蒙的药物就是要帮助就是大家的荷尔蒙长，就是促进荷尔蒙去生长，确保这个卵子成长。
Now, this next slide is very important. And what it shows the chance of having a baby and looks at a woman's age. And you'll see fertility starts to decline in the early 30s and mid 30s goes down very rapidly.
这个页面很重要的一点就是大家可以看到，就是有关于就是年龄对于生育力的影响。在女性呢，在30岁开始，我们的生育力就会开始下降，30岁过后就会急速下降。
Now, it's very important that we check your egg quality. For example, if we look at a woman that's 36, her egg quality should be good. But sometimes we find women who lose their fertility early in life.
我们的女性呢，我们可以看一下这个图，就是我们卵子的一个质量。有些人是36岁的时候呢，我们卵子的质量是在中间的部分的质量，但是有一些女性呢，在36岁，她们的质量会卵子的质量会提早降低。
Now, the blue line you see here is couples that use an egg donor. So even women in their late 40s and 50s have an excellent chance of getting pregnant if they're using the eggs of a younger patient.
在蓝色的线呢，就是使用一个捐卵女孩的卵子。那大家可以看到，就是捐卵女孩的卵子呢，她们就是年轻女孩的卵子会是保持一个比较好的一个质量。那即使呢，就是我们的准父母年纪大了，如果使用捐卵女孩的卵子，还是有这个成功的机会可以抱到一个健康并且属于自己的宝宝。
So the loss of fertility that we see is largely aging of the egg. It's not the age of the woman's body, and it has very little to do with the husband's age.
那我们可以看到，就是有很多不孕不育造成的情况，其实就是因为就是女性的年龄增长了，所以就造成一个比较不孕不育的情况。
And the reason that women are losing their fertility as they get older is you're born with all the eggs that you'll ever have. So at 35, your eggs are 35 years old. You have fewer eggs. But this slide also shows the percentage of eggs that are abnormal in the body. And as we get older, a higher and higher percentage of the eggs are abnormal.
我们的女性的一个卵子呢，大家可以看到，就是越来越增长的时候，那卵子的一个不只是数量减少，同时它们的一个质量，还有它们的一个老化程度就会越来越快。
Okay. And so I want to show you some of the ways that we look at or measure the egg quality.
接下来医生要告诉大家，我们要怎么样测量一个卵子的一个质量。
This is a particular test where we measure all these different hormone levels here. And by looking at these hormone levels, we'll learn a lot about the egg quality.
那这个就是我们要首先要测量所有的一个激素6项，来可以看出我们的卵子的质量。
Okay. Also, we're going to get an ultrasound. We're going to look at the ovaries. The picture at the bottom here shows a very healthy ovary with lots of eggs here.
接下来我们是必须要看 B 超来看一下我们的卵巢。那在右下角的这个最下方的这个图案，有很多的黑黑的小点，这个就是表示这个病人他有很多的卵子。
The picture up here shows an ovary with only 1 egg. This is somebody that's lost their fertility. And sometimes when we do ultrasounds, we find abnormalities like chocolate cyst.
那看左上方这一个图案呢，就是代表就是这个人他只有1颗卵子，那这个就其实已经表示他已经在处于不孕不育的一个状况下了。那有时候可以看一下右边呢，这些就是一个显示一个巧克力囊肿的一个情况。
So the basic as far as the basic evaluation, we're going to be doing the egg checks, checks of the uterus, genetic screens, and lots of other blood tests to figure out how to best achieve a healthy pregnancy and a healthy baby.
我们是需要，所以我们的这个检查，女性是需要做卵巢的检查，做子宫检查，需要做基因检查，还有许多其他的传染病的一些验血的检查。
Most of our patients are going to do many of their tests in China. We do it this way so that way we understand your basic fertility before you come to the United States for treatment.
大部分的病人们到美国之前给医生做治疗，需要在国内做这些一系列的检查，可以让医生更初步的了解情况。
So I'm going to review the treatment options that are open to our patients.
那接下来医生要介绍有什么样子的治疗的方案。
So I'm going to just review in vitro fertilization with you.
现在我们可以看一下什么叫试管婴儿。
So with in vitro fertilization, you're going to take fertility medicines to stimulate the immature eggs to grow to maturity, and that's what you see here.
我们现在就是要讲一下试管治疗。那我们可以看到，就是左边最上面的一个图案，就是我们一个卵子的情况。每一颗卵子呢，都还是比较小颗的卵子。那我们就是要开始做取卵前的治疗，我们必须要使用药物，把所有的卵子都长到像右边这个卵子这么大颗。
Now, you're going to be on these medications for about 10 days.
使用治疗的药物大概是10天。
On the medicines, you're going to probably feel a little bit tired, and you may feel menstrual-like cramps, but most women are able to go about their normal activities.
在使用药物的期间呢，女性会觉得比较累，有时候会像经期来一样的经痛的感觉，但是在取完卵之后呢，这个都是会恢复到正常的情况。
Now, one thing to reassure you is that the fertility medicines do not cause cancer. That's a concern that lots of patients ask about, but they've never been shown to cause cancer.
医生这边要讲的就是很重要的一点，很多病人都会担心这些促排药物是否会造成癌症呢？答案是不会的，这个是一个没有根据，我们的这些促排药物是不会造成癌症的。
This is showing how we do the egg retrieval. We use a vaginal ultrasound and a very small needle that goes into the ovary to take the eggs out.
这个图片呢，就是要教大家显示一个如何做这个取卵的手术。首先呢，我们是放一个导管进去，那这个导管里面有一根很细很细的一个针，把这个针刺进这个卵巢里面，然后我们再用盐水冲进去，把这个针用这个针把卵子给吸出来。
The procedure only takes about 15 minutes. We'll make sure that you're comfortable and safe.
那整个这个取卵的过程呢，只需要15分钟，医生会保证我们病人的一个安全，并且是在舒服的情况下进行。
And even if we take lots of eggs out, it's not going to harm your body. It does not cause you to go into an early menopause.
即使呢，我们现在取出了非常多的卵子出来，也是把您就是当时现状有的卵子取出来，这是绝对不会伤害到女性的身体，也不会导致卵巢早衰的一个现象。
And then we isolate the healthiest sperm and put one sperm into each egg.
接下来我们会找出一个就是健康的精子来和卵子受精。
And then this is showing the growth of the embryos over the course of 5 days. The embryo starts as one cell and then grows to hundreds of cells.
那这个图片呢，就是在显示要怎么样培养胚胎。那一开始培养胚胎，我们需要5天。那左边这个就是我们培养的第1天，接下来第3天，然后2天的一个囊胚，最后培养第5天的一个双肾胚。
And then we genetically screen the embryos. We take a few cells from each embryo, and we can test the chromosomes inside to see if they're normal.
那在第5天的双肾胚呢，这个时候胚胎的细胞就已经有上百个了，从本来的1个，现在长到上百个。那我们只需要从这个胚胎的细胞壁取出一点点，去做一个这个 PGT 的一个检测。那这个检测是可以检测出这个胚胎是否有染色体的不正常现象。
This is just showing an example of a genetic report. It looks at all the chromosomes in each embryo, and we'll even know the gender of each embryo.
那这个就是一个我们 PGT 的一个报告，我们可以看下面的这个结果，这个结果就是在显示我们的所有的这个染色体的一个情况，同时还可以显示出这个胚胎是男生还是女生。
And then with the genetic screening of the embryos, we're able to eliminate genetic diseases such as Down syndrome. We have much higher pregnancy rates and much lower miscarriage rates when the embryos are screened this way.
那做这个 PGT 的检测呢，我们可以检测出这个胚胎是否有很多方面的疾病可以检测出来，其中一个就是唐氏综合症，这个也筛查出来的。那做这个 PGT 检测呢，同时还可以就是提高我们的怀孕几率，并且会降低流产几率。
And then with the embryo transfer, this is very simple. It only takes about 5 minutes. We use a very small catheter and we place 1 or 2 embryos inside the uterus.
那我们现在是在讲到就是胚胎的移植。那胚胎的移植是非常的简单的，只需要5分钟就可以完成了。那可是就是用一个细的一个导管把我们的胚胎放进子宫内，大家可以看到右边的这个图案，这个2个小点就是胚胎。
And you'll actually be able to see the embryos go into the uterus when we place them.
正在做这一个手术的时候，您是可以看到这个荧幕的一个状况，就是这个胚胎正在植入子宫内。
So this chart here is looking at different age groups for women, and it looks at the pregnancy rates with genetically screened embryos and non-genetically screened embryos. And you'll see in every age category, the pregnancy rates are much higher when the embryos are genetically screened.
这个就是一个我们的怀孕的一个几率表，我们可以看到这些是一个年龄的一个情况。那我们在不同的年龄做了这个有 PGT 的一个检测呢，是可以提高这个怀孕几率的。那如果没有做这个检测的话呢，它的怀孕几率就相对比做 PGT 的检测还来得低。
Then we're going to freeze the embryos. So the nice thing about the embryo freezing is let's say you achieve a pregnancy this year, any extra embryos you have, you can come back and use them anytime in the future. They do not go bad.
接下来我们就会把胚胎做一个玻璃冷冻技术来冷藏。 那您大部分的客人可以选择现在过来做这个移植，又或者是选择多年以后再过来这个移植这个胚胎。那个胚胎在多年以后再移植，其实它的胚胎的一个状况，也就是您当年储存胚胎的那个状况，它并不会因为时间过长而就有任何的质量变化。
And the survival rate of the embryos when they're frozen is 98%.
那使用这个冷冻胚胎移植技术呢这个几率呢是98%的成功几率。
And then this is just an example of a patient here who had embryos frozen for 15 years. We transferred 2 embryos and she successfully conceived twins.
这个是一个就是医生曾经做过的一个例子就是这个冷冻胚胎已经冷冻了15年了，15年过后呢，医生帮这个病人移植了2个胚胎，然后他们也成功了怀孕了这个双胞胎。
I'm going to talk just briefly about egg freezing.
现在医生来跟大家说明一下冷冻卵子。
This is generally for single women who want to delay the loss of their fertility.
这个是最主要给单身女性，她们现在不想要怀孕，她们可以就是先冻起她们的卵子。
So ideally, we want to freeze the eggs for women in their 30s or even in their 20s when the egg quality is healthier.
这边呢，就是最好就是女性在30甚至是20多岁的时候，就可以考虑冻住她们的卵子，因为这个时候的卵子是比较健康的。
We do recommend freezing 20 eggs to ensure that you have enough to have at least 1 or possibly 2 children.
那医生这边建议呢，女性至少要存大约20个卵子，那这样子才会有一个就是成功的活产率，有大概是2个好孩子。
The reason why we want so many is because some of them may not fertilize or grow well.
为什么呢？会建议大家要存20个卵子呢？原因是因为有一些卵子呢，可能不会成功受孕。
And some of them are going to be found to be genetically abnormal and cannot be used.
有一些胚胎，有一些卵子受精过后的胚胎，有可能会有一个基因不正常的情况，或者是染色体不正常的情况。
We're going to talk a little bit about egg donation and surrogacy.
那现在的医生要跟大家讲的是，代理孕母，还有捐卵女孩。
So one of the common reasons to use an egg donor is women have lost the ability to conceive a child with their own eggs.
有一个很平常的现象，就是有一些女性她们没有办法使用自己的卵子去怀孕一个宝宝，所以可以使用捐卵女孩的卵子。
The other group that we use egg donors frequently for are single men and gay couples.
还有一个使用捐卵女孩的情况，就是单身男性以及男同性恋伴侣，他们也会需要使用到捐卵女孩的卵子。
There's lots of egg donors out there, so we will help you, and Huma will help you find an egg donor that's appropriate if you need one.
我们有很多的一个捐卵女孩的需要捐卵女孩的病人，那HRC 呢和河马都可以帮助到大家选择捐卵女孩。
The egg donors undergo lots of screening tests, medical, or we review their medical history, lots of blood tests to make sure that their egg quality is good and that they are healthy.
在捐卵女孩捐卵之前呢，医生会必须要做一个所有的这个评估，在捐卵女孩的，我们需要评估捐卵女孩的一个健康历史，还有包括她的很多的一个抽血的一个检测，还有做 B 超，需要确认这个捐卵女孩是健康的，并且是有符合捐卵资格的。
You'll even have a legal contract that protects your rights as the parents. And once we have that, then we'll move forward in creating the embryos.
在加州呢，捐卵是个捐卵女孩和有胎是一个代孕的友好的一个州哦，所以在使用捐卵女孩还会涉及到一个法律的一个流程。那这个法律流程是可以保护双方，保护捐卵女孩和保护准父母的一个法律流程。
We're going to talk about surrogacy now.
现在我们来讲一下代理孕母。
So surrogates are healthy women who've had uncomplicated pregnancies.
代理孕母呢，就是健康的女人，她是健康的怀孕过的女孩子，她是没有过这个一个怀孕难产的一个现象。
They go through an extensive screening process. We start by reviewing their medical records from their prior pregnancies.
那首先，医生必须要先看她的之前的一个生产治疗的一个情况。
Lots of blood tests.
还需要查很多的血，包括传染病，还有没有就是传染病和药品检测，还需要查这个代理孕母的子宫。
Once they've completed their evaluation, then you'll have a legal contract with their surrogate to protect your rights, and we can move forward with the embryo transfer.
所有的检查完之后呢，和捐卵女孩一样，就是要在这个法律的流程，确保了准父母的一个确保准父母的一个不会有代理孕母跟他们有抢小孩的抚养权的一个问题。
Okay. And I'm just going to talk briefly about treatment options for lesbian couples.
接下来医生会讲到关于女同性恋伴侣。
So lesbian couples, we can either use one of the partner's eggs or both partners' eggs and then transfer into one of the partners.
那女同性恋伴侣呢，我们可以使用怎么样子的试管治疗呢？我们可以使用其中一方的卵子的治疗，或者是两方的卵子去做这个精子的受精，然后再把这个胚胎移植到其中一方的子宫去孕育这个宝宝。
Most commonly, one of the partners will use her eggs and the other partner will carry.
大部分的一个情况呢，通常就是我们用A 女性的卵子去做成的胚胎，然后移植到 B 女性的子宫去做孕育这个宝宝。
And it's easy to purchase sperm through a sperm bank.
那选精子其实是很容易的，我们可以通过精子银行去选购。
As far as for our gay couples, obviously you're going to need both an egg donor and a surrogate.
那对于男性同性伴侣呢，那男性就是需要捐卵女孩和代理孕母了。
Most of our couples will create embryos from both men so that we can transfer one embryo from each to the same surrogate.
那大部分的男性伴侣呢，他们都会使用他们A 男性和 B 男性的这个精子去做胚胎的受精。
And then we even have a program for men that are HIV positive to safely have children.
那医生这边也有一个 HIV 的一个治疗。
I want to talk a little bit about your health and preparing yourself before you come to the United States for treatment.
这边呢，医生是想要跟大家说一下，在赴美之前有什么样子的准备。
There's a relatively new science out there called epigenetics. And what this shows is that the things you do before you create your embryos often can have a significant impact on the health of your child.
现在医生要解释到，我们就是胚胎形成之前呢，其实有很多事情会导致胚胎不健康。
So to have a healthy baby, we want our patients to eat well.
那要怎么样可以有健康的胚胎，有生出健康的宝宝呢？首先是需要吃好。
lots of vegetables and fruits,
要吃多一点的蔬菜和水果，
healthy proteins such as poultry or lean meats,
健康的蛋白质，比如像白肉或者是瘦肉。
Once a woman's pregnant, she needs to limit her fish consumption to about twice a week, and that's because of the mercury content that's in fish.
在女性怀孕过后呢，必须要减少吃鱼的一个情况，最好一周吃2次。为什么呢？因为现在就是一些鱼类里面有含汞。
And pregnant women should not eat sushi or undercooked meats.
怀孕的女性呢是不应该吃生的肉类和鱼类。
Low-fat dairy products and whole grains are healthy.
最好是要吃一些低脂肪的，还有全麦的产品。
Limited caffeine is okay, so 1 to 2 cups of regular coffee or tea a day is fine.
吃一点点的咖啡因是没有问题的，大约每一天1到2杯的咖啡或茶都是没问题的。
You should really limit processed foods and fast foods, things like KFC.
必须要少吃点加工食品和速食，比如像 KFC。
You should limit your sugar intake and avoid sugar substitutes.
必须要少吃糖，还有代糖。
And ideally, we want your body mass index between 18.5 and 30.
再来就是我们要看我们的一个身体的一个 BMI 的比率，必须要是在正常的情况下。
So when it falls outside of these ranges, it can affect your fertility.
那我们 BMI 如果是不正常，我们现在正常的是18.5到30，如果是在这个范围以外的话，那这是会影响怀孕的情况。
And it can affect the health of the baby once you're pregnant.
怀孕过后呢，这也有可能会影响到孩子的健康。
You should get plenty of rest, at least 6 to 8 hours of sleep nightly.
必须要好好的休息，有很好的睡眠。那睡眠是建议每一天6到8个小时睡眠。
This is very difficult, but you should try to reduce stress, either through exercise, meditation.
那有些人可能是比较困难的，必须要减少压力，可以通过冥想和运动的方式。
As far as exercise, don't overdo it. Excessive or strenuous exercise can actually harm your fertility.
虽然是建议运动，但是不建议过于重的运动，这样子也是会影响孩子的发育。
You should limit or ideally eliminate alcohol consumption.
不能喝酒，
Stop smoking and vaping.
不能抽烟。
And then some of the things that you'll do before you come out is to make sure you're taking folic acids, make sure your health conditions are optimal.
在到美国出海之前呢，医生可以建议也可以多吃一些维他命。
So for example, if you have high blood pressure or diabetes, you want to work with your doctor to make sure it's under control before you start your treatment.
另外，在做试管之前呢，最好跟医生先做一个全面的健康评估，比如说如果你有高血压或者是有糖尿病，这些也都是必须要先治疗好，再做试管治疗。
And then as far as HRC fertility, often, there's many ways to rank fertility clinics, but at many of those ranking systems, we're at the top or near the top of the success rates.
大家可以看到这一个是一个所有的不育试管中心的一个评测，我们 HRC Pasadena 是在一个很高的一个评价。
Myself, I'm the president of HRC Fertility. I'm involved in a lot of research programs that I'm I really individualize the care of my patients. I really care about your fertility and your ability to have a healthy child.
那Kolb医生呢是 HRC 的创办者之一。那医生是非常的照顾到他自己的病人。那他是除了照顾病人以外呢，他还会做很多的一个研究。
And then this is the last picture of my family all grown up here. They are in the Caribbean, and it's just a fun picture.
最后一张照片呢，就是医生想要给大家看，这也是他的家人，这是他们正在加勒比海游玩的时候的照片，他们的女儿都已经长大了。
And then this is the last picture of the talk. HRC Fertility Pasadena is moving in August to a much larger facility. We're going to be at the very top floor of this building here. But it gives us a chance to thoroughly update the IVF laboratory just to make sure we're optimizing all the best technology available.
那现在呢，就是在今年8月的时候 ，HRC Pasadena 会搬到另外一个办公室，在左边最高层的一个地方。这个地方会比现在的办公室还要大非常多。那也是为了确保我们所有的实验室的设备都是在最新并且是最高科技的情况下。
So once again, I want to thank you for your time, and I want to thank Huma for organizing this talk.
Sorry, my internet was blocked.
Okay, I said I just once again I want to thank you for your time, and I wanted to thank Huma for organizing the talk for us tonight or today.
最后大家医生非常谢谢大家过来参加，也非常谢谢河马来就是组织这个讲座，谢谢大家。
Thank you, Dr. Kolb.
Thank you.
Now we have time to answer some questions. Annie， 你可以看到那个在聊天中现在有5个问题，你打开聊天窗口。
好。那我们这边客人有第一个问题，就是取卵时间一般多长？是不是需要麻醉 ？So there's a question that how long does it take for the retrieval surgery, and does they need to anesthesia?
So the whole time that you need to be in the United States, it takes 2 weeks for the whole process. The actual procedure itself only takes 15 minutes. And then our patients can choose to either go completely asleep or just some light anesthesia so they're awake but comfortable.
那整个试管的过程呢，在美国的过程是需要2周的。然后再做手术呢，其实时间是很短的，手术的时间只需要15分钟。那对于麻醉呢，其实病人是可以选择的，可以选择全麻或者是局部麻醉都是可以的。那现在我们来看一下第2题，现在美国对染色体平衡移位携带有什么新的技术？ So there's a second question. For so far in America, what would be the technology for chromosome
Analysis?
Yes.
So we use the most modern technology available called next generation next genomics. In the next few years, we'll be advancing to a newer technology called genetic sequencing, but that's not available yet.
Okay, so far they are using a next generation to analysis the chromosome.
Yes.
And for next year, they will have the sequence technology.
We hope it will be available then.
OK， 那我们现在目前的最新技术呢，对于染色体呢是一个叫做一个染色体的检测，是叫做 Next 的一个技术。那关于就是移位携带这个平衡技术呢，目前是要到明年才会开发完成。目前，那我们第3个的问题就是。 一次性取多个卵子对身体有什么伤害 ？So there's one question, so it's a similar question. So when we have a lot of eggs retrieved, it might hurt or it might have complications?
Generally, most of our patients don't have any significant discomfort with the egg retrieval. You'll need to rest for a few days after the egg retrieval due to some bloating and cramping. That's normal. And then as far as complications, there's a very small risk of things like bleeding or infections. It's been at least, I think, close to a decade before since we've had any serious complications that required anybody to be hospitalized.
那其实这样子，刚刚医生也提到过，在 PPT 里面提到，就是一次性取多个卵子，其实对身体是不会有什么伤害的。可是取完卵呢，必须要休息个2到3天，因为有一些女性呢可能会有一点点腹胀，或者是像经痛一样的情况，那这是必须要休息到2、3天的。那会非常的有少的情况是有可能会流血啊、出血的情况，或者是有一些感染的情况，但是这是非常少见的。那医生说他现在已经有至少10年没有见过因为取卵而造成的一个很严重的一个后遗症，并没有的。那我们现在来看一下第4个问题。是否有技术可以对有问题的精子进行提前筛查 ？So there's a question that they are asking, what would be the technology to analyze the sperm if the sperm has any problem before the IVF?
Well, we do several things, one of which is a basic semen analysis. But we also look to see if the chromosomes inside the sperm are stressed, because it affects how we will choose the sperm to fertilize the eggs.
对，但医生刚刚在 PPT 里面有提到过，其实就是基因页分析是必须做的。那同时呢，也会对精子做一些染色体的一个检查。那我们在取这个精子做受精的时候，我们会选择一个健康精子的染色体去做这个受精。那第5个问题就是，一般2次取卵周期要间隔多久 ？So there's a questions for the patients. They are asking for how long does it take between 2 cycles to do the second cycle?
Sure. So generally, we recommend taking at least 1 month off between cycles. So if you did an egg retrieval cycle in July, then it should be fine to do one in September.
那医生建议呢，我们至少要隔一个周期，一个经期的周期，才能做第2次的这个取卵。比如说，我们现在是在7月做了取卵，那至少要等到9月才可以做第2次的取卵。OK， 那我们下一个问题就是 HRC 诊所对第2次或第3次取卵有没有优惠的政策？So there's a patient asking for if the patient need to do a second cycle or the third cycle, is there any discount at HRC?
There's significant discounts for each cycle. They get larger every cycle you do. And then our financial office can review that with you.
有些针对每一个客人的情况是可以有这个折扣的，这个会 HRC 的一个财务这边会跟大家就是解释到时候如果有需要的话。那再来的问题就是试管前需要注意什么可以提高生男孩子的概率 ？So this patient asks before IVF, what does it they have to do to improve the boy's embryo?
Yeah, there's nothing you're going to be able to do to change the chance of having a child of any gender. So the diet and exercise doesn't matter. But we will process the sperm so we have boys, a higher concentration of boys to work with. That's the only technology that's available.
对，医生说，就目前的这个医疗技术，其实是没有这个没有任何的一个饮食啊，或者是一些运动啊，是可以提高生男孩的几率，但是可以透过一些技术，我们可以选择在精子内有比较多男性染色体的这个精子去做这个移植，做这个受精的。那下个问题是否可以取卵后马上移植，还是必须冷冻胚胎过后2个月再来移植？ So the other question is, when is the best time to do implantation after egg retrieval, or can they do just right away with fresh embryo retrieval, or it has to freeze the embryo after 2 months, then do the implantation?
Generally, we recommend doing frozen embryo transfers. We have to in order to genetically screen them. The second reason we do frozen embryo transfers is that the pregnancy rates are higher with the frozen embryo transfers compared to the fresh. So generally, if the patient, they can start their frozen embryo transfer cycle about a month after completing their egg retrieval.
那首先呢，第一个原因是为什么需要做冷冻胚胎的移植呢？是因为我们需要对这个胚胎进行一个 PGT 的检测，所以我们必须要做冷冻胚胎的移植。那我们在做这个 PGT 的检测的同时，我们这个胚胎是冻住的，然后确保这个在报告出来的时候，这个胚胎还是一个健康的情况下。那第二个原因就是冷冻胚胎呢，其实比新鲜胚胎的一个怀孕成功率来得高，所以就是为什么是建议冷冻胚胎。那在女性取完卵过后，也是需要休息的，这个子宫卵巢都需要休息1个月过后就可以来做这个移植了。那下个问题，近期来不了美国 HRC 是否有活动可以申请优惠？ So the patient so far, because of the virus, they cannot come to America to do IVF. For HRC, is it any discount for this period?
There is, and that's where Huma can help you work with our financial office to understand how the discounts work.
有的，这个时候呢，大家可以询问一下我们的河马 Martin 去看看这有什么样子的一个优惠。下个问题是我在国内去年做过试管的报告，美国医生是否会看，还是要全部重新检查？ So there's a question that she has for IVF report in China, and does Dr.Kolb review it, or she has to do all the tests all over again?
Probably some of the tests we're going to want to update. But if you have any records, please share them with us, and we'll see what's necessary in order to optimize your treatment.
医生是需要看的，是需要看这个去年做试管的报告的一个内容。那看完之后，医生会告诉这个这位客人是什么检测是需要重新做，有部分的可能是需要重新做的。下个问题是 HRC 诊所如何确保病人赴美不会在诊所有新冠的感染？ So there's a question that when the patient go to US, does HRC has any kind of protection so they won't get coronavirus?
Well, I mean, generally, if you're healthy and you follow the guidelines, you should be fine. Within our center, we have a lot of precautionary measures that we've taken to protect your health. So we expect that you're going to be fine as long as you follow all the advised guidelines. We've never, fortunately, none of our patients have converted to COVID positive.
那现在就是没有一个医生的病人是有感染这个新冠病毒的。那医生是说，所有的病人到美国之后，必须要遵守所有的一个规则，然后当然在我们 HRC 诊所里面也是有非常好的一个保护情况。所有的病人在进到 HRC 诊所，必须要做一个就是体温测量，然后必须要做一个手的消毒这个动作才可以。那下一个问题就是刚才说染色体平衡移位的解决方案，明年会有，大概明年何时会有？ So this is a question go back to the chromosome analysis. So you mentioned that maybe probably next year the chromosome analysis will be ready. Do you know approximately when?
I don't. I mean, the technology is working its way through research centers, and I think the technology we have now is quite good and quite reliable. It may be several years before it's called whole genomic sequencing. It may be several years before it's available. I'm hoping next year though.
对，医生说呢，现在的染色体技术呢，的分析技术已经是非常非常的好了。那这个，对于下一个明年什么时候会有这个技术出来，这个医生是不是很理解的？所以这边就是其实都是所有的一个research team 他们会去做这个研究的。那我们看看还有没有问题。
没有其他的问题了。
好的。
对，大家有问题的话，现在还可以打字给我。如果没有的话，我们本次讲座就差不多要结束了。那非常感谢 Dr.Kolb 医生今天的时间。安妮可以先翻译一下，我们看看后面1分钟还有没有问题。没有问题的话，我们一会儿结束。
Okay. We are just waiting if there's a patient has any question. If not, we can finish for today.
Sure.
And, yeah.
Yeah, and just remind everybody, when we do a consultation, we'll go through their personal history and answer all the questions they may have.
那这边医生提醒大家，就是如果你们有这个1对1的一个1对1的跟 Kolb 医生 consultation 的需要呢，医生会问一下所有大家的一个健康历史，会询问大家的一个健康历史，去了解就是大家的一个情况。
对，我们现在河马平台也跟 HRC 诊所也合作了一个独特的一个优惠活动，在我们平台首页上有介绍，大家可以在首页上看到这个活动。然后我们平台也开放了可以预约所有医生视频的功能，如果需要跟Kolb医生单独约视频的话，也可以通过我们平台。OK， 那没有更多问题的话，今天讲座到这边结束。So thank you, Dr.Kolb。我们今天讲座到今天结束了，谢谢大家。哎，你可以翻译一下，我一会儿就关掉这个会议。
Okay. So thank you, Dr.Kolb. So the talk will be finished for today. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you. Everybody be well.
拜拜。
医生说谢谢大家。
拜拜，谢谢。
拜拜。
Thank you. Bye bye.